recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always bored.
Today is all about you being the hero of your own story. So tell me before we go on, did you have fun yesterday? Did you complete the task? Can you honestly embrace the motto, a fun-filled life is a fulfilled life? I embody that philosophy, and whenever I realize I'm not having fun, I stop and ask myself the quality questions. Look at where I am putting my attention, and if my attention is aligned with my intention. And often I realize that I'm letting my thoughts run ahead of me, and I'm unconsciously aware. I'm not mindful of my perceptions, and my language is showing it. But the moment I become aware and start intentionally being aware again and focus on what is most important to me and most importantly, taking me towards my goal, I start having fun again, and feeling fun, and even doing the most mundane tasks. Here's the thing, we're allowed to express our joy and to be joyful, and the more we are, the more fulfilled we are, the more we'll experience, the more an energetic match we will be for what we would love, and the more we create, and the more we would create what we would love to create. Make sense? So as you come on here, please do say hi. It's great to have you here. And let me know if you've been watching all the lives, if you've done all of them so far, if you've been following the steps. Or if this is your first one, put first in the comments. If so, welcome. And it's great to have you here, but I do encourage you to go back on the previous days as well. And if you're watching the replay, please do me a favor and put #replay in the comments. I really appreciate it. Okay, just my hair's still wet. Just come back from an awesome swim in the sea. One of the many joys of living in paradise. Okay, so what I want to do is take a moment before we go on and say congratulations for being here and for still being here. It's not easy. There are so many distractions and so many demands on our attention. So many people will have started this challenge and have already fallen away and given up. There are a number of reasons for this, and we'll be diving into that a little bit shortly today. But first, I just want to acknowledge you for staying the course so far. And if you haven't already, please do fill in the questionnaire. Okay, fill in the questionnaire, and when you do, I'm inviting you to a small, intimate mentor session in return, because I want to make sure that this is having the most powerful impact on your life it can. And by now, you most likely will have seen shifts, not just in your mindset, I mean, that's a given, but also physically as well. Real, tangible shifts, real things have happened. Money and opportunity has come your way already. We're on day 11. People have contacted you, or something that you have been seeking or desiring for some time has manifested. There will be something, definitely be something. And the more you are mindful, and the more you will see it, okay? It's important to be mindful. And the more you see it, the more you will have gratitude for it. And the more that you are grateful, the more you will have to be grateful for. If you don't acknowledge it and recognize it, then you won't appreciate the power you have to manifest. And you will underestimate your natural abilities as an extraordinary creator. Which means that when this challenge finishes, nothing changes and you slip back into old habits. So like, for example, I'll tell you a story. I had a client who came to me about 18 months ago now from Australia, and he was struggling with his trading. He is a very successful businessman and has made millions on the sale of one of his businesses, but he could not understand why he was struggling with his trading. And as often happens when I get a client, they come to me with a problem, and what actually transpires is that the source of the problem is elsewhere. Without going into the details of all his details, he was battling essentially with getting paid $500,000 from a contractor in his new business. And this was creating a lot of stress for him and pushing a lot of his buttons. It wasn't going to break him financially, but it was a hard pill to swallow nonetheless. So rather than focusing on his trading, I got him to look at what was going on around the contractor not paying him. the practicalities of it, or the metaphysics of it. Using my work, the Trilogy of Transformation, and this challenge is based loosely on a part of the Trilogy of Transformation. We looked at it from a practical standpoint, and it looked like the money was gone. There was no way he was getting paid for a number of reasons, but they were not protected and it was gone. But we continued doing the work around this nonetheless, shifting perceptions, looking at the benefits, losing attachment, coming back into a balanced mindset. And here's the thing, within 3 sessions of us working together, he phoned me at 7 o'clock one morning asking if we could have an urgent session. I was actually in Morocco at the time. And apparently the contractor had just called him and asking him for the bank details, as they were going to pay him within 24 hours. Out of the blue, from nowhere. This contractor had done the same thing to other companies. They had a reputation and they'd never ever paid them. My client, as you can imagine, was rather stunned. He had no idea what to do, and he was like coming at me like deer in the headlights. I was not surprised, but he was suspicious. He absolutely could not believe it. He wanted to get lawyers back involved and essentially complicate the process again. But I reminded him of the work we'd been doing, and then a penny dropped. You see, he was not totally convinced of the work we were doing. I'll be honest with you, he wasn't. And the truth be told, he was a bit frustrated that we were not focusing entirely on his trading. But he paid a lot of money to work with me, so he went with it. And then the penny dropped. He saw the power of what life is truly about. The magnificence and the perfection of life and the universe, when we accept that we are truly one with it all. There is no separation. There is nothing we cannot influence and nothing we cannot be, do, and have. He was paid the money within 24 hours. And over the next few weeks, his trading transformed. Now, there are 2 messages in this story. It's important to recognize what transpires when you do this work. It is important to be observant and aware and be consciously present. And also you do not need to understand it or even 100% believe in it for it to work. The universe does not care about that. It responds to your demands. And the more your demands are clear and consistent and aligned, you will create, period. You will always create to the extent that you are clear and consistent. I could literally tell you hundreds of stories like this one. So over the course of this journey you are on, just know that you do not need to know the detail or even understand how it works. Just take the journey and consistently put into practice the steps. As I said in the beginning, you are here and many are not. Many have already fallen off because of their critical mind, because they have no immediate evidence or acknowledge their immediate evidence, because they don't understand it. Just like the hero's journey, have you heard about the hero's journey? The hero's journey is a popular form of story structure derived from Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Now, there are several stages of the hero's journey. So starting with the ordinary world, i.e. before this challenge started, then you received the call for greater meaning, i.e. to do this challenge, because you have a knowing that you're made for more, that there is more to life. Okay, we often get that call throughout our life, but we don't always heed it. Okay, the call is refused often several times. Like those who have not sustained with the challenge so far. Like Luke Skywalker refused Obi-Wan Kenobi's call initially. Or Rocky, when he was asked if he'd like to fight Apollo, his quick reaction was a simple no. He wants to. He knows he's made for more. He gets the call, then he refuses the call. But eventually he accepts it. when we accept the call, we cross over what Joseph Campbell calls the threshold. And that's when the real shifts happen. But many will not cross that threshold. And one of the reasons for this is the mind detox. As we get close to crossing that threshold, it gets uncomfortable. There is uncertainty. And our ego hates uncertainty and would rather stay in an uncomfortable place, i.e. back where you started, before you started the journey, than an uncertain space of crossing the threshold. And this is compounded as the mind is detoxing, and this actually manifests itself physically. Just like when we go on a diet detox, like a juice fast or a water fast, we get headaches and lack energy. It's really uncomfortable. The same happens with our mind and brain when it detoxes. It hurts, and often physically. And that compounds the challenge for many to crossing the threshold into the unknown. So I have a question for you. You may well be feeling doubt, frustration, discomfort, physically and mentally at this stage of the journey. You may well fear the unknown. But here's the thing. You are feeling the fear. It is there. It ain't going anywhere. You can succumb to the fear and go back to where you were and remain in fear that nothing changes in life and you are a victim to your circumstances. Or you feel the fear and maybe, just maybe, you fly. Either way, you have fear, but only one of those ways will give you the potential and the opportunity to fly. As the saying goes, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because what if, doing so, you don't fail and you fly, and you become the magnificent creator and of your fun-filled life, living to the fullest extent of your potential in abundance and prosperity? Which is it going to be? Let me know in the comments. Tag me if you've got any questions. Fill out the questionnaire and join me on the Intimate Mentor session. And we're going to continue this discussion tomorrow. Don't forget there'll be more prizes and giveaways in the next few days, so keep up the good work. And please, if you found this useful, please do like and share it or tag people that you know that you feel would benefit from this challenge. And don't forget to update your workbook. Very important to be in for the chance of winning the ultimate prize at the end, valued at over £10,000. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Love and gratitude. Bye-bye.